Hello, everyone. This is Brandon with What the Fantasy, and on Twitter you can find me at HeyB3. And we're coming to you with another film breakdown. This time on Hunter Renfrow. Last year it was by far his best year. Had 128 targets, 103 receptions, 1,038 yards, 10.1 average, and 9 touchdowns. He finished as wide receiver 11 in points, wide receiver 19 in points per game, which was big for him because the 2 years before he finished as wide receiver 60 and 54 in PPR. We know there was a situation with Henry Ruggs where he no longer was on the team because of the car accident. And then Darren Waller missed some time, but still Hunter Renfrow was very impressive this year. And he averaged 2.14 in target separation, which was sixth in the NFL. He had 24 red zone targets, which was sixth in the red zone in the NFL. And the Raiders are getting a new coach in Josh McDaniels. So we know that the Patriots with Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels have utilized the slots a lot, especially with Julian Edelman. But in the past year with Jacoby Myers, he had 118 targets, which is a little less than Hunter Renfrow. And his target separation was only 1.6, which is 63rd in the NFL. So, and the Patriots mirrored a lot of what the Raiders had, a lot of targets to the tight ends. And then there was, Myers in the slot that received most of the targets, and the other two receivers on the outside received the same amount, around the same amount of targets as Zay Jones and Bryan Edwards for the Raiders. So the question is this a one-time thing with Hunter Renfrow? I don't know if he can repeat exactly what he did this last year, but I think he's definitely in the wide receiver 2 territory. So wide receiver 19 in points per game, I could see him around that 19 to 21. And he was up there in points just because he didn't miss any games. And we saw with all the injuries and COVID, a lot of people missed games. So that resulted in him going farther up, especially with injuries to A.J. Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. So I think he's still going to be in the wide receiver 2 territory. I think Josh McDaniels will still use him in the slot quite a bit. So let's go ahead and get into the film so we can kind of look at what Hunter Renfrow does. I know a lot of people are surprised by, what he can really do. He utilizes his quickness and his route running and his great hands to make plays on the field. So let's go ahead and take a look at the film. Okay, so this first play is going to show a nice route that he runs to get open. So we'll play it first. So he is right here, and he's going to fake to the inside and then cut back out. A little bit of a pivot route, so you'll see. And then he gets that huge separation, gives plenty of room for the quarterback to throw the ball. Nice hands catch, and then he's able to get a few extra yards. So this next one, also a lot of these clips are going to show how well he does after the catch. Most people wouldn't necessarily think he's a great, yak player in everything, but he gets the necessary yardage and he's able to use his quickness. Might not be the fastest wide receiver, but he is quick and able to get those extra yards. So let's go ahead and run this tape. So he just comes out here. The two front receivers kind of push the defenders up the field a little bit, and he just comes and he's ready for the ball. Nice catch right here. He has all this room, and he just goes straight up the field. It makes the linebacker miss, and, one of the biggest things is he doesn't get a ton of huge hits, kind of like the old Colts receivers and Julian Edelman. Gets those extra few yards and kind of dives down to avoid, any of those hits. So this next play is going to show a little bit of his physicality and his route running. He's right up here, and he's actually going to be contacted pretty hard by the defender, breaks through that contact. So let's roll it right here. So he's going to go to the outside. And let's actually roll that back a little bit. So he's going to go to the outside. And you could kind of see the Colts defender has his hands on him, kind of restricting his movement, but he breaks through that and cuts to the inside and makes the nice catch right here. So let's just take a look at that one more time. So as you can see here, the Colt defender has his arm on the shoulder, but he's able to fight through this contact and beats the defender to the end zone and makes the nice catch for a touchdown. So that shows both his route running and that he has more strength than most people would probably think when he's fighting defenders. It's going to be a short pass, but actually this is in the middle, and it's a nice hands catch. He fights through the defender, catches it, and gets the necessary yards down the field. Another thing I think Renfrow does well is moving after the route when Derek Carr is scrambling. So that's another thing that I think Edelman did very well with Brady. They both trusted each other, so he could move with the ball. So next one's going to be another yards after the catch. He just comes out here. There's a lot of room for him. Catches it, goes straight up the field, and gets a nice 5 or 6 extra yards. Nothing super fancy, but it's always good to get those extra yards, and he always seems to get those. So here he comes across the middle, beats the defender, and let's actually go back. So you see him right up here. He does a very good job of timing his routes, and then the defender, because he doesn't really show which way he's going to go, defender kind of stays in the middle, and then he's able to cut to the middle, and the defender's behind, and he's able to catch the ball, and with a little hesitation get about 10 extra yards. So here's another play where he just kind of finds he's coming across, and he just finds the area in the zone. Nice catch. Gets about 3-4 extra yards, gets down, avoids the hit. He's just a very smart player in where to go with the ball. In this play, he's just going to run a little out, and nice catch with the hands, doesn't let it get to his body, so he can make the nice catch and shows his strength there. So let's actually go back on this one. So this one, he gets a little help from, I think, Brian Edwards, kind of cuts up a little bit of a pick play. And then he cuts out. He's so quick and precise with his routes, doesn't give the defender much time to catch up, and then makes that nice catch down here. This is going to be another kind of out. So let's actually go back to that. You see he's up here. The defender's off there. And he's just so quick with his cut, like the one before. Gets quickly out, easy pitch and catch. It's only 4 or 5 yards, but those kind of plays make it easy. He doesn't round out his routes. He's very sharp, so the quarterback knows exactly where he's going. This is going to be a pass down the field. Gets behind the defense, nice catch, and then he doesn't go down easy. He gets a couple extra yards. So that's always nice. And this one is going to be across the middle. Nice catch in between the two defenders. And then yet again with the yards after the catch, about 5 or 6 extra yards there. And then this is another one, a short little bubble screen, gets about 5-6 yards. If you go back, it's blocked pretty well. You would think around here, he's going to tackle for maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. But he gets another couple yards, fights through that. So he uses his strength and, his quickness very, very well. So here's another little short pass. He cuts back inside with his quickness. Gets past that D lineman and, gets an extra 3 or 4 yards. So here we go. This is going to be another one of those nice routes where he tricks the defender thinking he's going to go outside, then comes back inside. As you see him up here, he stutters like he's going to go outside, gets the defender off balance. Then he cuts back inside right there, catches the ball, and is quick enough and strong enough to get it in the end zone right there. As you'll see right here, nice quick twitch and move to the inside to get the touchdown. And this is going to be the last one. This is going to be another short one. Because of his great route running, sometimes the defenders give a little room to see kind of which directions he's going, and they give him a little bit of cushion because they think they can come up and make the tackle. But in this instance, they're not. Avoids that tackle right there. The defender makes a little bit of bad angle, misses that one, quick cut inside, and gets the extra yards there. So let's just run that back real quick. As you can see, he's right here. He's just going to come out a little bit, about 4 yards, turn around. Easy completion for the quarterback, and then he does most of the work, makes a nice move on that defender, then does a quick stop, jab step to go inside, and then we see the defenders trailing, and he gets tackled down right there. So that's some of the film on Hunter Renfrow. A lot of his plays are the pivot routes, the slants, the ins and outs. He's very good at selling all those routes, and as we saw, he's very sure with his hands. Does a lot of catches with his snatches the ball with his hands, doesn't allow it to get in his body, and that just allows that security blanket for Derek Carr. And even with Waller coming back fully healthy, and I think they will get another receiver, or maybe McDaniels can get more out of Bryan Edwards. But even with that, I still believe they'll get Renfrow the ball in the slot because McDaniels with the Patriots has always done that. Don't think he might be a wide receiver 1, but he's definitely in that wide receiver 2 range. So definitely someone that if you can get people that think maybe he won't perform that well, kind of get him on that. Or if you can get some people that still think he'll be, a top 12 receiver, or you go ahead and try to sell him in Dynasty to recoup or to get as much as you can, because I don't think consistently he'll be in that, but he's definitely in the wide receiver 2 territory. So thank you for watching the video on the breakdown of Hunter Renfrow. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the great content. And I'll check you next time for the next video.